Tallahassee needs more big-name employers. That is the message today from the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce as it takes on a bigger role in recruiting new business.
Our Capital City correspondent Matt Hoffman got a behind-the-scenes look at the Chamber's plans and joins us live now with a look at that. Matt?
Yeah, guys, think about it. Tallahassee's known as the government town. We've got Merrill Lynch sharing a building with our tax collector. But the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce wants to see more big-name logos on businesses all across the capital city. Traditionally, the local government has been in charge of attracting business through the Joint Office of Economic Vitality. But now, the Chamber wants to become the quarterback.
Now, the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce may not have all the answers. But sticking with the analogy of football, we will hand off that football to an OEV.
The Chamber insists it's not about pointing fingers. The OEV has faced criticism as of late as the light from the Amazon deal wanes. But they plan to walk both established businesses and startups through each step while also selling the idea of Tallahassee.
While incentives and things like that are important, imagine if we roll out the red carpet. Imagine if there's an organization coming into Tallahassee and we tell them what are the amazing things that we have in our community. That can move the needle.
More than conferences or even regulatory changes, the Chamber says it's focused on Tallahassee's story in keeping university and college graduates in town, especially those in the tech industry. Now, we couldn't video record it just yet, but they gave us a sneak peek of a new AI-powered website that they're going to launch later this year. It's a step-by-step, just a few clicks, and tells business owners who they need to meet with and even what they need to register their business as. For now, in Tallahassee, I'm Matt Hoffman, WCTV Eyewitness News.
All right, Matt, thank you.